American knife collection. These are the small knives, and we're going to begin with J.D. Van Deventer, and no, I don't remember the name of this one. It's just a small flipper. A lot of them actually don't have names, from what I remember. They just, you know, call it a small knife, and then you just use your description of what the materials are. This one runs on washers. The action it's okay. It's made by hand by J.D. Van Deventer. Runs on washers. When this knife first came out, they only came in washers. Now you can order the same exact knife. I don't think he does it in washers anymore. Now he does it with ball bearings, and I don't have one of these in ball bearings. One of these days I may do that. However, word about J.D. Van Deventer, his knives are getting more and more expensive every time. This same knife to buy, it's getting up there now, so you guys are going to want to be careful. Custom pivot on here. You need a special tool to take this one apart. We have lightning strike inlay carbon fiber on it. The handle is made of carbon fiber on one side. On the frame lock side, titanium pocket clip. The frame lock side is stone washed titanium, which is kind of nice. Adds a nice contrast to it. This is micarta up at the top, and then the inlay is a lightning strike carbon fiber. Moving on to let me get this one out of the way, because this one actually has an interesting story. This I kind of like to call this my Captain America knife, because even the screws, they're they're kind of like antique looking, so it kind of adds to the aesthetic of the knife, that it's just sort of brass, antique looking. This is a slip joint. So hold on, let me put the phone down, because I got to use two hands to open it. So sorry about that. Let me just put this down for a quick minute. Get a look at the blade. So here we go. So yeah, this is a Damascus blade. We've got G10 handles. This was a very difficult knife for JD to make. The stars were a problem for him. He couldn't get them to where they weren't blurry, and then finally he just hit it and was really happy that he hit it and made it, because it was a real problem for him to get these stars to be very clear. They were always blurry when he tried to do them, and he told me about it. So this small knife here was supposed to be part of a collection project that I had in mind to do. I was going to have J.D. Ellis do the 4th of July knife. That's what this is. And then I was going to have Tease Meads do the Christmas one. And then Willem O'Kelly was going to do Thanksgiving. No, Tennis Stone was going to do Thanksgiving. And then Willem O'Kelly was going to do New Year's. And this is the only one that came to fruition because of, time constraints and money. Obviously, I couldn't afford to get the whole thing done, so I just got this one done. So I've unfortunately, since then, 86 that project. But, I don't know. Maybe someday I might contact those guys and tell them to go ahead and do it anyway when the time comes. I was going to have it where I would have the 4th of July knife and the New Year's knife, the Thanksgiving knife, and the Christmas knife, all 4 in one box, and then have a customized box made for the entire set. You know what I mean? It would have been something kind of nice to have done, and I know that no one else would have it. Plus the idea that it would be made by 4 different knife makers. You guys get the idea. Moving on, Deshorn, small front flipper. Here again, Deshorn using really unique materials. This material here, I don't know what this kind of metal is, but basically when this metal is heated, you can actually sculpt it and press down on it and make it mold into this design. And then once it cools, it becomes permanent. And pretty much the pivot and the mercury ball is built in around that design, which makes it kind of interesting. We've got lightning strike carbon fiber and a Damascus blade. So, yeah, like I said, I don't know the name of this material. I don't think even the blade gallery that sold it to me know what it is. There's Deshorn's signature right on the blade. Moving on to John Arnold. John Arnold is a big fan of glow in the dark. I don't know what it is with this guy, but I had to have this one because the entire knife glows in the dark. Sorry I can't show you, but yeah, the whole freaking knife is green glow in the dark, including the pivot. Blade steel is M390. And I believe the carbon fiber is the material that it's made out of. He's also famous for this glossy sheen on the blade handle. Blade shape, I don't know, Warncliffe, modified Warncliffe design. Yeah. Nice action. Runs on ceramic ball bearings. It's just a small flipper. There's no name for that. This is a rarity by Steen Camp. It's probably going to stay in my collection because of it. Carbon fiber handles, right? Actually, a layer of carbon fiber. Just the very, very thin top part of it. And then the rest of it is G10, which is fine. And then we've got carbon fiber back spacer with gold liners. M390 blade. Runs on ceramic ball bearings. He doesn't do not ceramic ball bearings, regular steel ball bearings. Steen Camp, for whatever reason, he doesn't use ceramic ball bearings in his knives. He uses steel ball bearings, which is kind of interesting because most of them have advanced over to ceramics. The difference between ceramic ball bearings and regular ball bearings is that regular ball bearings need constant oiling because steel ball bearings produce heat. Heat produces friction, and friction produces shoddy action. By using ceramic ball bearings, they're not saying you don't have to oil your knife, but you would have to oil it less because ceramic ball bearings stay cool and dry, and they don't produce that shoddy friction that produces the shoddy action. So, and that's the only reason why knife makers use ceramic ball bearings, to make sure that you'll have longer use of the knife as opposed to steel ball bearings, where if you don't oil them every once in a while, you're going to get that shoddy action. So that becomes a problem. Moving on, this is Steen Camp's small flipper. Oh God, why can't I remember the damn names of these? I hate that. Yeah. Small flipper. It's pretty similar to the medium-sized flipper that you saw earlier in the videos that I did. This is marble carbon fiber. We've got a Damascus pivot ring. Kind of a nice purple color, and then purple liners, titanium backspacer, and pocket clip. Again, real famous for just only using one or two materials on the knife, making it really sort of simplistic in design. But if you notice though, like the one material that Steen Camp uses, he makes sure it really shines. See how that's kind of just glimmering? That just gets you. You don't need any other materials. Moving on to Henny Dutoit, who's actually the maker of my next custom knife. This one is called the Rocket. Now, I've got something involved with this knife. I actually named this model knife for him, and he's got a coin for me. I hope he's going to have it at Blade Show, but there's like this coin that comes with it, with the Rocket Man. This is called the Rocket. He originally called this knife the Yaga folder. What the hell is a Yaga? I don't know. And I said, it looks like a rocket. You should call it the Rocket. And he said he liked the name, so he kept it. So every once in a while, he will put out. This is probably the only model knife that he will put out, like Trevor Burger puts out an EXK, just this model, just to kind of get people, and he'll probably use it as a promotional tool to get his knife making going, and then he'll make whatever he wants when you order it. Unless, of course, you do really want a rocket. So he only makes it in this one small size. We've got Damascus bolster and marble carbon fiber handles, Damascus pocket clip, and customized pivot. This is a full dress piece. As you guys can see, we got Damascus backspacer also, Damascus blade, the Rocket by Henny Dutoit. All right, I'm coming to a close. Let me put this box away because I got a second box, and that's going to be like the end of this thing here. Okay, moving on to Steen Camp. Small flipper. There's a name for this, guys. I'm sorry. I just don't remember. Oh, Samsung. There you go. The Samsung flipper. There you go. Small flipper by Steen Camp. Who's the brother of Willem Steen Camp, which is another interesting thought. Let me bring them both out again. So if you take a look at Steen Camp's work, and you take a look at his brother's work, you'll see some differences. Let me flip them both open, and then I'll move on to the rest of the collection. I just think this is kind of interesting. Two brothers in the same business, knife making, but check this out. His brother, Steen Camp, who's more visible on Instagram. I think Willem Steen Camp's kind of a recluse. He doesn't really talk to people that much on Instagram. But his brother is always on Instagram. You can talk with him. You can order a knife. He's always happy to talk with his customers. What I was getting into was the fact that the two brothers are so different in the way they make knives. Willem Steen Camp, one or two materials to comprise the knife. You know, all handle, one solid piece of material, usually marble carbon fiber or some other material, but it's always just one material. And then he's got like a pivot. Maybe the pivot might have a different material. In this case, it's Damascus. And that's it. That's all. And then the rest is titanium. His brother, on the other hand, is a different animal overall. Check this out. Two materials, right? You got lightning strike blue carbon fiber, and then marble carbon fiber handles. Blue, even the backspacer is different. Blue carbon fiber backspacer, titanium pivot blue. He just goes a little bit more over the top than his brother. And he does front flippers more often than his brother does. Steen Camp's a little bit more flexible. I think at this case, it's probably safe to say that he's more popular than his brother, Willem. Willem is becoming popular because, number one, you don't see him. He's more of a recluse. Very difficult to get a hold of. In fact, I don't have any of his knives were they made for me. But I'm happy to say at least that all the ones that I own are one of a kind. So, there's that. Yeah. Moving on to the box. Let's see here. Put this one back in here. Let's go with this one. Same flipper by John Arnold as the one you saw earlier, different materials. So that's the thing with custom knives. You'll get the same model knife with different materials on it. Here we've got G10 and carbon fiber inlays. They're not glow in the dark. This one's not glow in the dark, so that's how different it is. You got a different pivot now. You got like this star pivot look on there. Same blade shape though. I guess modified drop point, whatever. Really nice action, front flipper. He's got a soft detent, John Arnold. Not in a lot of his knives, but on the small knives, it's always, soft detent. So soft you could shake it open. So that one's by Willem Steen Camp. This is a very special folder. This is called the Katsumi mask by Henny Dutoit. My third from Henny Dutoit. Probably not going to be my last Henny Dutoit custom. I've got one coming, and I'm in the works to get another one. This is kind of special. This is called the Katsumi mask by Henny Dutoit and Ilse Dutoit. They are a team. Henny Dutoit, when he started out like a decade ago, his wife was not part of the team. He was just making knives, one of a kind, handmade knives, all by himself. And then his wife decided to try out engraving, and she was mentored by Neil Ruse, who took her under his wing and taught her the basics of engraving, and that's how she's able to come up with beautiful works like this. Now, what's interesting about Ilse Duplessis is that she's becoming the foremost engraver now in South Africa, as far as I'm concerned. Take a look at the engraving on this. There is no space that's empty on it. She's used up every bit of space. She does like these little bit of hairs on the wolf, and like right on the breast, she's got there. You can see like hair on there, and then she's got this sort of like clouds over here in the background, and just an overall great artwork on there. And then on the back, you've got the pocket clip with the engraving on it. Look how small of a space she's using up to do that. What's interesting about this design here is if you look at it this way, you see a monster kind of peeking out there. Can you see that? Now, if I turn it around, now you get like a smiling cat. See that? There's the cat upside down. And turn it around the other way, we're back to like this monster looking thing. And then she also engraves the pivot with like this, I guess it's like a flowery or butterfly design. Henny Duplessis, again, he's into sculpting his knives in a certain way. Something you don't see too often from knife makers, because that's what makes him such a one-of-a-kind knife maker. Take a look at the flipper. This is a two-way front flipper. I've never seen that before. You can flip it like this on the side, right? And then this one over here, you could use your index finger. Both are very comfortable. So it's artistic as well as it is functional. Carbon fiber for the back of the knife. Katsumi mask engraving. That's what it's called. Or Katsumi mask. Lawrence Prinsloo for this one. I had to have this one because of that shimmering, goldy look. Plus, he doesn't make knives this size very often. Usually he'll make it with the bolster, but since I already had one of his knives with the mosaic bolster on it, I decided to just go with this gold, fat carbon fiber look. There's nothing special about the backspacer, it's just all titanium, but that gold shimmering stands out anyway. You don't really need any other material for the backspacer. Blade steel is M390. Blade shape, I don't know, maybe more like modified, I don't know, sheep's foot, there you go. Mirrored on the flats, you've got hand rubbed on the blade. His insignia is gigantic. I don't know what that's about, but it's almost the same size as the pivot. That insignia where my thumb is right there. Lawrence Prinsloo Customs. He makes it really big. Moving on to Willem Steen Camp. Now this is another flipper, not a front flipper, but another flipper that he makes. A small flipper. I forgot the model name of this one. This is roughly about 3.1 inch blade, drop point style. Different blade steel on this one. Not CTSHP, sorry, 154, CPM 154 for the steel. You know what I mean? So it's different there. Runs on ceramic ball bearings. You've got white carbon fiber, fat carbon fiber inlay, and you've got the black carbon fiber, and then the pivot. What makes this knife so unique kind of reminds me of like the Hollywood Western cowboy from the 1950s. If you guys could picture watching maybe like a cowboy wearing completely all white, like a circus cowboy, I guess, with the white hat, white suit, white everything. This would be the knife that he would carry on him. It just kind of reminds me of that Western look, because the pivot looks like a wagon wheel kind of thing on there with the silver spurs, you know what I mean? Kind of a look on it. Just reminds me of that. Really kind of cool. This one is Trevor Burger EXK, the smaller version of LXK. This is a stonewash, stonewash blade, M390 steel, blue carbon fiber twill, black carbon fiber handle on both sides, milled titanium gray slash blue pocket clip, blue liners, and carbon fiber back spacer. Worn clip style, sheepsfoot style blade on that one. Really nice. I carry that one quite often, actually, and I actually use that a lot. Why do I use it a lot? Because look at the blade, man. It's stone wash. You're not going to see any scratches on that thing. It'll just blend right into the knife. So that's kind of nice right there. Phew, and on to my final knife. Thank God. This is exhausting. I should have done this like not all in one shot, but maybe like one video one weekend, another video another weekend. It's just exhausting. Anyway, this one is by Ruger's Blue Maris. Drop point blade M390. Titanium bolsters. This is the beginning of like some kind of engraving. Very, very basic, very, very simple. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things about having a collection is that you get to see like the beginnings when people begin to do things to knives, where you see like this kind of simple, I guess, engraving with just lines, and then the next minute you're looking at something like this. So it's kind of like a history progression of stuff you're seeing, you know, from different people, or maybe one knife maker might have inspired another one. You know, while engraving is mostly done, you know, but while this engraving, or the real engraving, introduction of engraving, was introduced by Niels Roos, passed on to Ilse de Plessis. Somewhere along the line, maybe Neil Roos saw Ruger's Blue Maris and said, hey, you know what, I do engraving. I might as well go ahead and do something more advanced looking than just putting 5 lines on a knife. But still, it's still an artistic look no matter what. It's a lot better than not having anything on the bolster, right? Lightning carbon fiber, gold colored, with copper wire in it. I wish I could pull back a little bit. Yeah, there you go. So you can see a little bit of the copper in there, copper wiring inside of it. Titanium backspacer. Milled titanium pocket clip. This is probably one of those folders that you would carry in your, like with a suit, because the whole knife is sort of like copper colored, elegant looking, really nice, very well done by Ruger's Blue Maris. Phew, so that is it for my South African knife collection. If any of you guys are going to Blade Show this year, you can come say hi to me. I'll be walking around like the rest of you, probably marveling at the knives that will be at Blade Show. I'm only scheduled to pick up one knife from Henny Dutoit Rocket, which is another engraved knife. That's going to be like a big, gigantic 3.5-inch one. And the engraving on that is absolutely phenomenal. It is way better than what you're looking at here. So I guess what I'm saying is that if this engraving impresses you, what I'm going to be coming home with, or when I receive it in the mail, that engraving towers over this one, because Ilse has just gotten so much better than back from when she made this one. So, having said that, that's it for this video. I want to thank all you guys for, helping me with my channel. I do appreciate the support. Like I said, I'm just a collector, but if anybody has any better ideas in which I could promote my channel better, that would be a great help. I'd like to see myself grow a little bit more. I'm an old school guy. I'm an old man. I'm not young. Like a lot of you young guys, you're probably in your 20s and 30s. I'm in my 50s, so we are not a young cat. I've been around the block a few times. So anyway, that's it for this video. And before I close, because I forgot to do it in all the other videos, you guys might want to check out the knifeenthusiast.com. They are supposed to be looking to become the #1 source in all things, all knives, not South African knives, but just anything, all knives. They want to be your number one source for education on knives. You can buy knives there, you can sell knives there. If you're looking for any information on any new materials that are out there that are being used to make knives, you can probably find that information on knifeenthusiast.com. So check them out. My channel is on that site as well. Because the Knife Enthusiast reached out to me and asked if they could put my channel on their website. I said absolutely, and yeah, I think it's been helping. But I need more promotion, so we'll see what's going on. Because I would love to get free stuff like some of those other channels get. You know, I'm nowhere near Epic Snuggle Bunny yet, but I'm trying to get there. Anyway, thank you all for watching. This has been a lot of fun, but it's also been really exhausting. I'm probably not going to do this again for a while, or if I do, I'm going to be doing them one week, and then the rest all the other weeks instead of doing them all in one shot. But one of the people that saw me do this originally last week, the reception was really bad. The internet reception was so horrible that I just deleted all 3 videos, decided to start from scratch, so that's what this is. And I'll see you guys in the next video, and if you're at Blade Show, I'll see you at Blade Show. Thanks so much for watching, and you guys have a fantastic Sunday morning as we come into the afternoon. Have a good day.